Hey, 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 happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. All right. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend. Tanika, I'm going to make you co host so you can let people in. All right. I'm assuming by like the sounds, everybody's Monday was stellar. So like, you guys are recapping and just catching your breath. Maybe some of you partied a little too hard. No harm, no foul. Who here is their first time here? Welcome, welcome. So let me let a few more folks in and knock out some of the boring stuff. Before I do, let me triple check and make sure. Who do we have from Monday? All right, got it. All right. So let's knock out some of the boring stuff so we can have some of the fun stuff. I'm going to share my screen. So for the folks that want to make sure you're in the right place, this is the NEPQ Pro tonality call. Pro 3.0 for you legacy people, like it's all one and the same. Now, if you're new here, you're like, who's this guy with the blue hat and the funny glasses talking? My name is Rode. I'm the tonality coach here. And Danica is also one of the folks here making sure that we're all set up for success. So, snaps for you, right? Now, a bit of housekeeping before we kick things off. We ask that you, if you're able to, please, please, please turn your camera on. This is a safe place. Um, Now, we understand some people, maybe you're driving, maybe you're at work, maybe you're somewhere that doesn't permit you to have your camera on. No harm, no foul. But for the folks that are able to have the camera on, we don't bite. Safe place. We encourage you to come on down. Now, we also ask that if you're in a noisy background, please mute yourself so that we maintain the quality of today's session. And we ask in the spirit of today's session, which is around tonality and body language, we keep our questions to specifically that. If you have a question about objection handling or structure or script writing, this would not be the appropriate session for you. However, reach out to Danica or Alberto or any of the coaches, and they'll make sure they point you in the right direction for the session that makes more sense. All right. Any questions on that, or is that clear? All right. Now, this is very important. This is what we call the success puzzle. You all have made the time and you are here right now on the coaching side of NEPQ, of the success puzzle. So, literally, kudos to you for doing that, right? However, we do not want that to negate the other side of the puzzle, which is the training, the portal, the things you do when you're not on the coaching sessions, the live sessions. So the training portal is where you go to learn the fundamentals of any PQ and the nuances. And the coaching is where you go to take that and get even deeper nuances and get feedback on how we can level up. If you only do one side of the puzzle, you leave a lot of opportunity on the table. And what we've seen is the people that really pick this up quicker and essentially make more sales are the people that marry the two. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? All right, sweet to the beat. Now you may see a lot of these lovely folks have their hands up, and you're like, "What's going on?" This keeps a little bit of order in the chaos where no one gets skipped and we can see exactly who has a question around tonality or who wants to role play. All that we ask is that when we call on you, just let us know how long you've been inside NEPQ and what do you sell so that we all have context. All right. Now we have a few names that we didn't get to last week. So I want to make sure that we get to you. All right. So Lakai, are you here? I want to make sure you're here. Okay, Lakai is not here. All right. Jordan, Jordan, are you here?
Hey, Road. Yeah, I'm here.
All right, sweet to the beat. So we have you up first. So
Okay.
Jordan, let us know how long you've been here and what do you sell? So the group has context.
Yeah, I've been in NEP2, the 3.0, since the beginning of April.
Nice.
So I'm putting in the work to make sure I get through the portal, as well as
Nice.
also doing the trainings as well. So definitely
Nice.
makes sense there. And I sell medical equipment, and it's kind of specifically it's like high volume. So really, who we're trying to target is like it tends to be a little bit more enterprise, like a place that might have like 50 or more locations with like some sort of centralized ordering. Because really
Mhm.
what we're selling them is we're selling them kind of some streamlining and some functionality that we're finding that some of our competitors just don't really have. Like we're a little bit smaller, so we can't really, it's not always price that we're able to compete on. It's more, the quality of our ordering process and giving them better insight and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. No. Snap a do. And what are we tackling today when it comes to tonality?
Yeah. So for today, last week when I was on Joe's call getting some feedback from him on a live call, um, I, so my territory is in Northeast. With
Hmm.
that, like I've been I've been I've been doing calls for like a long time. Like I've never had necessarily call reluctance, so I'm like able to pick up the phone.
Hmm.
But with that, just going through this training, realizing that I've had like a lot of bad habits I need to get rid of.
That's why
Um,
you're here.
yeah, exactly. So I'm just trying to sharpen my sword here, sharpen the
All
axe,
right.
as they say.
All
And
right.
and really, what he said is that even for like Northeast, I'm a little monotone and I'm a little too quick. So,
Mm.
and
What?
I've heard that from him, heard that from Billy. I need to slow down and use more, variation in my voice.
And you know what? Let's find out.
Yeah.
So let me see. Do, 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 do. Do we have Tudor here? Is Tudor here?
Yep. Here.
Yeah. All right. Tudor, perfect. Since you're up next, we'll have you be the prospect. And Jordan, where are we starting from?
So I'm rolling from, it's just a cold call. Let's just say that I just happen to get,
Wait, check
a
my audio
VP of,
devices.
sorry.
What?
I think somebody's in the background.
Oh, okay. Um,
Please mute yourself. Just,
no
all
worries.
right, go ahead.
So let's just say I just happen to get like, a VP. It's going to be maybe a VP or sometimes even C level that I'm talking with. I just
Hmm.
happen to get you on the phone. So I'm just rolling from problem statement into kind of the personalized intro.
Hmm.
I
So,
feel like I feel
yeah.
like I feel like I've been doing better last
I,
week.
I, 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 I. Like, uh, what I've noticed too, before you even start, and this isn't just for Jordan, this is for everyone here. What I'd recommend, especially for tonality, economy of words. All right. Because what you can do is do a verbal word salad, and you might give them so much information that it doesn't matter how fantastic your tone is, they may just be overwhelmed. So, what I recommend for you is just jump right into it, and then let's
Okay.
see the tone and the economy of words.
Okay. Awesome.
All right.
That's another thing I need to work on too. I've heard that one a couple times.
All right. And um, Tudor, you don't need you could be whoever you want to be, and based on how Jordan's communicating to you, uh, you can be
Yep, for sure.
whatever you want. All right. And for everyone here watching, this isn't just for Jordan and Tudor, this is for all of us, right? So like you are the feedback panel, constructive feedback panel. How does what Jordan's saying, how does it make you feel? Right? And how he's saying it, how does it make you feel? Right? I'm not caring too much about structure. I want to see what his tone and his pacing, what is that triggering you? if you're the prospect. Make sense? All right, speak to the beat.
All right.
What was yours?
Ring ring.
Hello?
Hey, this is just Jordan. Was wondering if you could possibly help me out.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wasn't quite sure if you were the right person. I called to see if your company would be opposed to looking at any possible hidden gaps in your purchasing process that could be causing you guys to overspend on medical supplies.
Uh, what do you mean by hidden gaps?
Yeah. Well, you know how like a lot of organizations like yours sometimes get frustrated with spending tons of time, looking for the best price, bulk discounts, and just general lack of oversight on orders across multiple locations.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do is I help companies like yours consolidate their spending on the best priced items for bulk discounts and help provide clear insights on purchase history and provide just more oversight across multiple locations so that you can actually save time and money. Um, wasn't sure if that's something that your company might be dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, I will always want a better price for sure.
Okay, and then we can stop role play there.
Yeah, like now how like what you did well there. I was gonna write down in notes, but you stopped me prior, so good because it was fresh. What you did well is you it seemed like you knew what you wanted to say, right? However, the challenge that popped up for me is even though you sounded like you knew what you wanted to say, I also felt a bit of nervousness. Now it could be because it's the role play, right? Which is fair enough. But
Oh, it's
it
definitely because it's a role play.
yeah, it what I noticed was the like the breathing. I was trying to gauge whether it was the
Hmm.
breathing or whether it was the ums. I counted three ums. Now, a lot of times, what happens is when you speak a little fast and you have filler words in there, it may come off as, okay, I'm trying to get through this, right? So, um, what I'll I'll demonstrate in real time, right? So,
Hmm.
Tudor, I'm going to speak to you in two different ways, all right?
Yeah.
So, you guys, I won't tell you which is which. You tell me how you feel, okay? Jordan, tell me which one you think this is, all right? So, um, hey, Tudor, where you located at right now?
I'm actually in Romania, so
Romania.
Europe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you been there before?
I mean, since I was born here, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
Actually 17, so
17. Wow, that's
yeah.
impressive. And do you want to stay there?
Uh, yeah, it's pretty good. Like the lifestyle is good, prices are good, so for sure.
Okay. And do you watch sports at all?
Not really. Don't.
Okay. And all right, pause there.
Yeah.
How'd that feel?
It's just
Very.
kind of dragging, maybe.
What did it sound like as far as me personally?
Yeah, kind of nervous.
Just like
Like
like you're just
just
not sure
curious.
what to ask next. You don't
Uh,
know what you're gonna ask
Yeah.
next, maybe.
all right. Now I'll ask a separate way. All right. And let's tell me if you know the difference. Hey, Tudor, like, where do you live at?
I'm in Romania, so yeah.
And you've been there how long?
17 years now. So yeah.
17. All right.
Yeah.
And how old are you again?
Yeah, I'm actually 17, so just
Okay.
I was born here.
All right. So just move there. And do you watch any sports at all?
No, not really. Don't like
Mm,
watching sports.
one of the
Like doing
cool
sports,
guys.
but
Okay. What sport?
Honestly, like I play a lot of basketball, volley,
Uh,
like yeah.
okay, now here's a and be honest with me. Are you good at basketball though?
Honestly, I'm practicing every day, so I'm
You did.
yeah, I would say I'm pretty good.
Now, is that more your mother saying you're really good, or are you actually really good? Be honest with me.
Well, I mean, if you'd compare to like some
Mhm.
NBA players, I'm not that good, but
Okay. All right, pause there. Like, did you notice a difference there?
Yeah, so you're a lot more curious. You're a lot more. He's more engaged. You're certain about what you're asking, but you're asking it in a way that's like kind of evoking in him like to think about it and like actually be involved in the conversation
Yeah, and
instead of thinking like why is this guy even like asking me these questions?
yeah, and what I'm doing to be like practical about it, I'm slowing down how I'm speaking, right? Because a lot of times, uh, for everyone here, right? Like, uh, think about think about if you go somewhere, right, and somebody's trying to like, I'll do it in real time. Jordan, what's your favorite sport?
Soccer,
Okay, who's your favorite player? Quick,
Cristiano
quick,
Ronaldo,
quick. Second favorite player. Quick, quick.
Messi,
Okay, why?
just because they're the ones that come to my mind.
But why though?
um,
Okay, come on, quick, come on.
uh,
All right,
they
so
get
pause. Yeah,
yeah
now, what did you feel just now?
rushed.
A little bit of pressure, a little bit of right. It's like whoa, slow down, right? And sometimes we don't see that in the prospect ourselves, right?
Hmm.
Because we know what we want to ask, but sometimes that little bit of they'll come off a little polite, right? Or they might. This is what Jeremy means when he says fight or flight. They might come off polite, where they're like, or they're like, whoa, what's up with all these questions? So,
Hmm.
excuse me, being a little bit more detached and a little bit like more cool, calm, collected at times, you allow the prospect to really one understand what you're saying and internalize it, but give them that like space to where they can actually answer.
Hmm.
Did, did that make sense, everyone? Jordan, does that help?
Yes, I think part of it too, where kind of the ums and the breathing. I need to go ahead and continue memorizing my script because I just recently wrote it in the past couple of weeks, but I'll definitely
Yeah.
keep working on that.
And remember, and there's nothing wrong for everyone here, not just Jordan. There's nothing wrong with all right, if it's intentional, because if you're new here, you won't know what I mean by verbal cues. But for the
Hmm.
folks that have been here, you know what I mean by verbal cues. These are the words or phrases or sounds you can make to let the prospect know that you're actively listening. However, you're also an active participant. So if Tudor or you say something, I
yeah,
see,
I need
question,
to.
right? Or whatever. Now, if you're the only time the ums become a problem is if you guys are involuntarily doing it. Because what you're doing is you're using filler words now because you're trying to think about what to say next or fill in that gap. All
Yeah.
right. So I'll post a list here of the verbal cues. You only need to use 1 to 3 max. You can cycle out of them every 8 to 10 words, and it just makes the conversation feel natural.
Now, as far as like being monotone and quick, how was I on those two things?
You were a little quick, but it came off nervous. So when we talk about the 4 C's of tonality, um, according to NEPQ, we have the curious tone, the concerned tone, the confused tone, and who has the last C for me?
Challenging.
There we go. Challenging slash skeptical. All right.
Hmm.
So we want to put them our questions tone wise in one of those 4 buckets. All right. Now the nervousness, just being completely transparent with you, to me trumped all of the tones because that's what I heard.
Sure.
So I couldn't match it to anywhere.
Got it.
All right. So lowest hanging fruit, slow down. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thanks,
All right.
Jordan.
Thank you, sir. Yep.
You're welcome. Sir, my dad, sir. You can call me Ro. He just ages me. Tudor, what's going on?
Yeah, so I want to role play, I guess.
Yeah.
Cold calling,
All
sell
right.
digital marketing for dumpster rental companies.
All right. Sweet to the beat. Okay. And Lakai, I saw you come in. Like, wow, where did you go? We had you up from last week. Did you leave? Lakai left. All right. So, bang, 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 bang. Isaiah, are you here? Isaiah Wayne. That's Isaiah, are you able to talk? Oh, yeah, there we go. Come on down.
You caught me mid-apple.
Hopefully, it was a good apple.
Okay.
All right. So, uh, Tudor's gonna do are we starting off at the cold call section, Tudor, or are you starting somewhere
Yeah,
else?
no, just from the top.
Okay,
All
I'm
right.
a contractor. Like,
Yeah, kind of like dumpster rental. Right? They have big containers that they're renting those out. You put
okay, so I'm
like
like
a
an
lot of waste.
administrator. I'm like an administrator, like working for the company.
Yeah, they typically like they have like big trucks. They're the ones who are, it's like a small size company, right?
Okay. All right.
All
Okay.
right. Spot
Ring
on.
ring.
Hello.
Hi, it's just Theodore here. I was wondering if you could help me out for a moment.
Uh, yeah. What is this about?
Yeah, I'm not sure who I should be talking to. I was wondering if you'd be opposed to looking at any like potential hidden gaps in the ways you guys are renting your dumpsters that actually could be causing you to lose customers to your competitors.
Um. Okay. So how would you do that exactly?
Yeah, what we do, well, you know how a lot of dumpster rental companies are sometimes frustrated by having inconsistent bookings? In the winter seasons, they just don't rent enough dumpsters, and a lot of times they can't grow their businesses to the level they want it to be. So what we do is help companies like that, using our system that actually gets them phone calls from people who want to rent a dumpster. Now, I'm not sure if I could even help, but what are you doing right now to bring in new clients?
Yeah. We have some. From what I
Hmm?
know, we have some like other
Yeah.
agencies that's sort
Oh,
of
you
doing
haven't.
the
And
lead generation for us.
yeah, and what are they doing like specifically SEO or
I think they're doing like a little bit of
yeah,
Google,
Google
and
ads or
yeah, I think so.
oh, okay.
They're just doing most of the work. So,
Yeah, and for how long have you been working it down?
Pause. I gotta say, sorry, sorry. I think Isaiah's apple came across the screen and trying to choke me. Like Tudor, really, really good, confusing tone in the beginning. And like very, very, very strong cutoff of confusing tone. Because when you came in with Isaiah and you said, "Well, I'm not sure if you could," and then you just like let that
Yeah.
go, and then went into the personalized intro with the more slightly curious tone. But what really stood out to me, and I really wanted to pause it there, was did everybody notice how Tudor was verbal cueing? And because he was verbal cueing so efficiently, Isaiah was not able to run on, all right, where the minute you got what you needed, because you were an active participant in the conversation, it didn't come off like you were cutting him off. You were verbally interjecting, and as you were interjecting, you just you were transitioning from question to question to where Isaiah felt like he needed the answer. And I was watching Isaiah's body language, but also yours. All right. And one thing that I really wanted to just highlight and like have you guys really stand out and see, Tudor, not sure if you guys picked it up or noticed it. Tudor has an accent, right? Like, however, Tudor was able to still get Isaiah to engage with him and answer questions, right? And I'm watching your body language. Like, you weren't just reading it off like a script, just monotone. You were using your hands, you were using your facial expressions, so it came off like real natural to me. Like, Isaiah, how did you feel? Like, just from a tone point of view, like in terms of did Tudor's tone, did you feel like you wanted to fight? Did you feel like you wanted to fly, or did you feel like you wanted to engage and get a little
Yeah.
bit more curious about what's
Yeah.
going on?
I would say my reaction was pretty much on how I would actually react. It was very like, I would say
Mm.
neutral, sort of warming, sort of drew me in. So I was like willing to go ahead and, entertain a conversation like this.
Yeah, yeah, Tudor, really, really, really well done. I don't have any constructive feedback to give, because I think that was well done, and that was like I think the part that I would highlight the most for anybody that watches this replay is how he was verbal cueing. There was no fluff. There was no fluff. Well done.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, you're welcome. Isaiah, you're up next, but I want to make sure you have time to eat. So do you want the apple or do you want to?
Nah, you're good.
All right. Let the folks know how long you've been here and what do you sell?
Yeah, got into 3.0 maybe a week, maybe like a week and a half ago. About to be on a fitness offer.
Ah,
So yeah, just
that means you're
preparing for
skilled.
that. Uh,
Anybody can do this
mm,
business.
we'll see.
All right. And what are we tackling today when it comes to tonality and
Yeah, I want to
timbre?
go into problem awareness. I'm having trouble. I have more of a flatter voice, monotone voice.
Hmm.
So that's something I want to sort of see your opinion
Okay.
on. Sort
Yeah.
of to try to see what's skeptical or, how things are
Now,
supposed to flow.
I'll post this inside the chat as well. The four C's of tonality that we just touched on. All right. So remember everyone, uh, when you're asking these questions, ask the questions with intention. And what I mean by that is, um, if you think back to just Tudor just now,
Mhm.
when I shared that he started off confused, but very, very quickly cut it off, is because the confused tone, for us when we're training people and companies on this, the confused tone, we only want you to do that when it's appropriate, meaning you're cold calling and starting off, right, in the beginning, cold calling, or maybe you're door knocking and you're looking, you're coming off like you're looking for directions, like you need a little bit of help. But if you're if you're confused throughout the entire conversation, what do you run the risk of having the prospect feel, right? Like you may not know what you're talking about and they may get confused. Does that make sense, everyone? So the reason why I'm harping on this real fast is when we're talking about the four C's, remember where you are inside the NPQ process and what tone is appropriate for the questions you're asking. So if you're in problem awareness, this is where you're going to be a little bit more curious or challenging, skeptical, or even concerned because you're talking about their problems. We need to know more about their problems. We need to challenge them on their problems. We need to come off a little bit more skeptical as to why they're allowing these problems to go on for. Does that make sense, everyone? All right. So let me see. Um, Isaiah, do we have Carol here? Carol, I see Carol. Sweet to the beat.
Yes.
Carol, we have you next. So if you don't mind being the prospect, Isaiah, we'll start with your problems and then we'll go from there.
Okay, yeah, you're just trying to lose weight. So let's do this. Okay, so Carol, you've been going to the gym, 5 to 6 times per week for like the past six months or so. I mean, did something happen, or what's caused you to feel like that just wouldn't be enough?
Pause. How,
Okay.
how, how did you feel asking
Uh, I was okay with it.
that?
Yeah.
Meaning,
Meaning, so, so I felt like it was a little bit outside my box, but from what I've
mhm,
been told, it's like since I had to like do a little bit more for it
yeah.
to come off, but trying to find that
If
sweet spot.
if I can give you some feedback, don't go a little bit more, go a whole lot more, right? Because the reason why I asked that is because to me that came off very monotone.
Mm,
All right. So I wanted to understand what made you ask it in that manner. So you may be holding yourself back. So, and for everyone here, if if you're more like neutral all the time, what I recommend is go to the extreme when you're role playing, and sometimes even on calls. And what I mean is go to your extreme because what we found is folks will go to the far extreme in their minds, but it'd be exactly what they need to be. Like it's like you have that restriction. So you're thinking I'm being a little here, but it's still coming off way too neutral. So let's get obnoxious with it and let's
mm,
gauge like how would you like tone wise get obnoxious with it like as far as coming on like concerned or challenging and skeptical, and let's gauge on where that falls on the meter. All
okay.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's re-ask that question and hop in it.
Yeah. Okay, so Carol, you've been going to the gym maybe 5 to 6 times a week for like the past 6 months you mentioned. Now, did something happen, or what's caused you to feel like that just wouldn't be enough?
Way better. Way better. Did you notice a difference?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, yeah.
Did you did you now for anybody here, did Isaiah come off a little bit more confident, right? And a little bit more skeptical, like what was going on? Even the way you projected your voice sounded louder to me, in my opinion. All right. Carol, how did you feel when he like both times he went?
Well, the first time I didn't want to answer. The second time I was more willing to.
And what were the changes in both?
The first one thought it's none of his business.
So you triggered Isaiah fight or flight. So you triggered fight. So Carol chose to fight like it's none of your business. And the second time you disarmed her to where she felt compelled to answer.
Okay.
All right. So for you, lowest hanging fruit, is that me? Did you guys hear that? Or was that just me?
Nah, it was
So did.
somebody
Okay.
else.
Yeah. So like I'd say for you, for you, Isaiah,
Hmm.
your lowest hanging fruit is role playing being as obnoxious as you can in terms of that skeptical part, because
Okay.
that was to me appropriate. That's
Okay.
that's
And
actually where you need to be.
does that so for should I go even a little bit more than what I did?
I see. To me, what you just did felt appropriate. It
Uh,
wasn't. It wasn't obnoxious at all. It was like so. In problem awareness, what we're doing is we. What I'll see people do sometimes, which if you think about it, just think about how this is. All right. Sometimes I'll see people smiling and like the person is telling you all of their problems and why they're problems. And we come off as salespeople sometimes. And we're like, yeah, it's that bad, huh? Yeah, tell me more. Tell me more.
Right.
And it comes off disingenuine. However, when somebody's telling you their true problems and they're opening up, um, there needs to be a level of not sympathy, because sympathy is like, I feel bad for you that you're
Mhm.
going through that, right? But empathy, like, I understand you're going through that, right? However, there's a little bit of like detachment, right? So now this is where the concern comes in, or like the skeptical slash challenging comes in, where it's like, how long has this been going on for? Okay, and what's causing that to happen? All right. So like when we say challenging slash skeptical, we're trying to understand through our tone and the questions we're asking what's causing it to happen. And we're also skeptical as to what's causing you to allow this to happen without it coming off like we're being a-holes, like we're judging them. Does that make sense, everybody? Right? It's very important. We don't want to judge. We want to understand. Think about it, as cliche as this may sound. Think about when you're going to your doctor, right? And the doctor's asking you a couple of questions, like, when's the last time you did this? Oh, okay, and do that. They're not skeptical about you. They're skeptical about what's going on so they can do a proper diagnosis. Make sense?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
it does. Thank you.
You're welcome. Carol, what's going on?
Oh, yeah. I've never done this before.
Welcome. So like I'll walk you through it. Um, what the first thing that we'll ask is how long you've been here and what do you sell so that we have context.
Um, I've been in 3.0 2 weeks,
Mm.
and I sell A-level chemistry, which
Oh,
is AP chemistry
oh, one of
at
the
high
smart
school.
people. I love it. And what are we tackling today when it comes to tonality?
I can't get the gap, so
Mm. Now, when you say you can't get the gap,
well, I can't get a
what
big
do you
enough
mean?
gap, I suppose. I mean, I have sold two tonight, so
Oh, snap a do. All
but
right.
two didn't turn up this morning.
Okay.
Um, but I've got a lot that I haven't sold.
Okay. And when you say you can't get the gap, um, give me an example. Like, are they like staying closed off, or is it more so like they're talking to you, but it feels a little surface level?
It's probably surface level. There's objections. Usually I need to go and talk to my parents, or
Mm,
we need to talk together, and
mm,
then I'll never hear from them again.
okay. If because the gap might be like outside the scope of this call. That's like more of a process and
Yeah.
structure call. Now, have you hopped on the objection handling calls?
I can't go to all of them at the moment because I'm still teaching. Um,
Ah,
Exams are over, and so in June I will be able to start to go to more.
hmm,
I don't know anything about my tone or what it's like, or
yeah. Now, what I'd recommend, are you watching the replays of the
yeah.
objection? Okay, sweet. So since you're here on the tone, let's see how the tone is. Where do you want to start from?
The problem awareness.
Ah, all right. So let's see, who do we have? Chris Russo, are you here? Chris Russo, are you here? Let me see. Oh, you can watch the replays inside the actual group. So let me see. Well, all right, Chris. No, Chris. Alex, are you free?
Yeah.
All right, come on down.
So you teach like tutoring kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So this is where you break everything. So like pretend that we're not here. Give us the best concerned slash challenging slash skeptical tone you can, and we'll give you honest and constructive feedback. All right.
Okay.
All right. Floor is yours.
Okay. So how long have you had problems with organic chemistry?
Um, I'd say the last couple of months.
So what started the problems?
Um, I just can't solve like X and Y and Z questions. Just having difficulties with that.
So I get stuck. Um, so what is it about the XYZ questions?
Just like the thought process of actually how to apply everything that I've learned.
Okay.
Like I'm reading
So
textbooks and everything, but it's not getting to me.
sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, like I'm reading the textbook and like, attending the classes, but I'm just not getting it.
So is it how do you revise when you are revising for tests?
I make like flashcards and then I just memorize the flashcards, but that would only get me so far, right, with the test. Actually applying what I'm remembering, that's the hard part.
So do you understand the chemistry?
I like to think so, yeah.
So if you can't apply it, are you sure that you do understand it?
Probably not then.
Okay.
Pause. I think the like you know the questions that you want to ask. It to me it comes off that way. The challenge that's popping up for me, like observing, is it may start to come off like an interrogation. Because it's like question answer, question answer. So if you look back at the list of the verbal cues that I put in there, for everyone here, I recommend working on just one thing at a time in terms of tonality. So whether it be verbal cues, pacing, pausing, one thing at a time so we can track and measure what is working for you and what needs more work. All right. So, um, Carol, for you, I recommend the verbal cues. Pick 1 to 2 verbal cues that you can cycle out of that list so that you can transition from question to question. Because what you run the risk of is after a couple of question, question, you may have somebody say, "Hey, what's up with all the questions?" So we're triggering fight or flight. Did,
Okay.
did that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alex, how did you feel being the prospect there, just from a tone perspective?
Like I went with it, but it did feel like an interrogation.
So Carol, be very careful, right? Because you know what you want to ask. It's just we need to disarm the prospect so like they want to answer. So you bridge from question to question simpler.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah. Nobody's ever said anything like that before, so it's been really helpful.
I'm glad. Well, thanks for raising your hand. And yeah, good job on the 2 sales.
Thank you.
Alex, you're welcome. I say come on down, but you're already here. Like let the
Yeah.
folks know. For
Um,
the folks that don't know you, how long you've been here and what do you sell?
so I sell real estate investing coaching, how to produce passive income, and I've been here for like 3 months, I think, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you thought about it. No, I'm playing around. Jacob, since I have you next on my screen, come on down.
Yes, hello.
Hey.
So I'm trying to go to the connecting stage, and sometimes I get these like prospects that get like they seem quite upset from the jump of the call, like just from the first question I asked them, and just like like just from the mood,
Mhm.
and see if I can like I guess like what do you call it, diffuse it
Yeah,
with like playful tonality.
yeah.
So imagine
And
like if like someone kicked your dog or something, right? And you're hopping on the call.
You sell real estate investing, right?
Yeah, coaching.
And am I coaching? And am I an inbound? I filled out a
inbound.
form and
Yeah,
booked on your
inbound
calendar.
lead, you read a book, you read a 200-page book, you went through like 2 hour mini course, and you're on this call with me today, but for some reason, like you're pissed off.
Are you
And
good?
wait, yeah, because this is actually a very good thing that you brought up, right? Um, for everyone here, um, if somebody, especially for an inbound call, right?
I think we lost him.
Dude, that happened earlier and it was mid-thought too.
Could be trouble.
Hey, are
Um,
you? Oh, he's
okay.
back. All right, we lost you.
What's crazy is I can hear you guys talking,
Okay.
but I was like, yeah. What I was saying was, I'm so glad you brought that up, Alex, because I think perception and perspective is very important in this type of scenario, right? Especially for a inbound call or inbound meeting, all right? Just think about the logical steps that somebody has to take to get to your calendar. They have to see an ad or speak with someone, or do some type of function where they either put in or give their name, email, and phone number, schedule a time, a specific time to speak with someone about possibly solving a problem, and then they
Yeah.
actually show up. Now, the
Yeah.
reason why I'm taking everyone through these steps for the inbound folks is because sometimes I feel like we get sucked into like the the sales space where we sometimes forget that we're dealing with humans and what
Mhm.
these humans actually did to get to you. Now, the biggest part of that is if they hop on a meeting with you, right, that was scheduled and they show up and they seem a little upset right off the jump, you may not be the problem, right? Because to your point, Alex, how you
Yeah.
just told Jacob, imagine somebody just kicked your dog, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe they're coming into the meeting like fresh off something that just triggered them, and you just happen to be the lowest hanging fruit of consequence, right? And the reason why I'm saying this is so is like we don't go into combat mode where I'll see certain folks talk to prospects and
Right.
it's like you seem like you're pissed off. Like what's going on? It's just like now they're gonna unload on you because now you've just validated in their minds. Yeah, I'm pissed off at you because get with it, right? Whereas
Yeah.
everyone just this is where you diffuse. Like you do not win. You can't win this argument. You can't win this fight. So making them feel a certain way because they're coming off pissed. Like I'm giving this long soliloquy because I want everybody to think about the perspective just of what the prospect may be having. It may be having a bad day, so that now you can adjust your tone and you can think to yourself, this isn't personal. This person doesn't know me. Something's going on, and now you're not triggered to come off as edgy as you might be. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
All right, so rant over.
Right.
So Jacob, you imagine somebody gets your dog and you're coming into the meeting
And
with
just be
Alex.
like the type of guys that's like just get to the point kind of guys, right? That's really the main premise of it. Yeah, hey Jacob, can you see me and hear me okay?
Yeah. I can see and hear you, man.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see you. What's
Oh
going on?
yeah.
Are you still like scrolling through TikTok in your pajamas or what's happening?
Oh, I actually am in my pajamas, but no TikTok.
That could be troubles for you. Yeah, so it looks like you booked in some time with us about possible help with making money through slow flips. Is that
Mm.
right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I did want to talk a
Okay,
little
yeah.
bit.
How did you originally find Scott though?
Oh yeah. Well, you know, I read the book and I took the mini course, and then the next step in the funnel was to just
Right.
book a call. So here I am.
Okay. Okay. I mean, did it bore you to death?
Did it bore me? No, I
The
wouldn't
book.
say it bored me to death.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess so maybe listening or like reading, observing some of like the passage from the book, like what have you noticed, if anything, that kind of stood out to you compared to the other strategies that you've explored in the past?
Yeah, I just, I felt like this one might be the one to get me where I want to go. I don't know. I just thought I'd jump on a call with you, see what you had to say.
Okay, yeah, yeah, for sure. And I guess like what was it that actually stood out to you then? Like specifically
Pause.
maybe.
Yeah, pause. The reason I paused you there is because I heard Jacob started going into character. Like
Yeah,
To
yeah.
hear what you had to say. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
right,
Like and I wanted to bring a highlight there because his answers got shorter and shorter
right.
and shorter and shorter. However, what I noticed for you, Alex, what you normally don't do, like I feel like you almost triggered him to get shorter and shorter and shorter because one, like without structure, without touching structure too much, there were a lot of questions there, connecting wise, that it started to feel like based on his tone,
Mm-hmm.
um, it felt like he was like, get to the point, like, or
Right.
you already asked me that, so be careful. I'd look at removing, just one of those so you don't have to sound redundant. But
Okay.
also, there were three times that I counted where you doubled verbal cued. So,
Yeah.
you know how you say gotcha, gotcha? Well, that was my throwaway word. Yours was okay, okay, question, okay, okay,
Yeah.
question, okay, okay, question. Where it's like, huh? You normally are good with the verbal cues, and
Uh-huh.
like not doing that. So that started triggering me. Was like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious, Jacob, how did you feel as the prospect?
Well, I'm naturally kind of a happy guy, and I'm not in a bad mood right now. So when he
Hmm.
said to try to pretend, I was trying
Yeah,
to. That's why I had my camera off.
yeah.
And then, but your joke about being in the pajamas, and ironically, I am in pajamas. So I was like, oh, but then I remembered you wanted me to be a little bit difficult. So then I tried to. But as we kept talking, your questions, it did feel, you started humorous, but then it
Hmm.
got very transactional, kind of. That's how I felt anyway.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, and I think to a good point Jacob had, because you were using the play for your humor appropriately, right? But then I just think you started asking too many like of the same questions right there, but then it
Right.
started to get like a little bit that okay started to make it more jumbled. And this is what I mean by word economy, because I want everyone here to think about this. When we say word economy, what we mean is we want you to ask the questions necessary, but use as few words as you need to as possible, because every word you say, you run the risk of triggering the prospect to go into fight or flight. So that's why we remove all of the fluff, all of the filler, and everything needs to be with intention. So every question needs to be intention. There was a great exercise that Matt Ryder and Jeremy had the people do a little while ago, was look at your script and look at every question and ask, why am I asked that question? What is that question designed to do, or emotion is designed to evoke? And if you go through that and you have a question on there that you just feel, I, I feel, I feel that that question makes me feel better. However, there's not an outcome you're getting from that question that helps you out, remove it. It's just fluff. We want
Mhm.
economy of words. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alice, did that help?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. We only have 2 minutes. We probably don't have time to get to
Mine's quick.
the. Okay, good.
Okay. How would you handle if you were naturally a bit of a know-it-all and a bit combative and confrontational? How would you navigate that in a sales process?
That is a loaded question. Now, if I don't want to win in a sales call, right? And what I mean by that is, if like the know-it-all, right? The know-it-all generally,
I want to be
I
right. That's what it is.
in that. Mm-mm. That is, I'd recommend against that, because if you're right, then what does that mean? They're wrong. And if you make them feel wrong, like you think they're gonna want to do anything with you, it's like politicians, right? You have one side saying, "You're right, I'm wrong," and the other side, "You're right, I'm wrong." And where do they end up going? Nowhere, because they're
So then knowing that, how would you mentally navigate that with the implied understanding, the underlying reason that they inbounded is because they have a problem, and in theory, I have a solution. And to a
ah
degree, there is a degree of right.
pause. See,
Pause.
yeah, pause there, because they booked in because they for sure have a problem. Otherwise, they wouldn't have booked in with you. However, um, the purpose of the conversation is to find out whether or not, and to be genuinely curious enough, does the problem that they may or may not have match up with the solution that you provide? And so, like, what ends up happening now is that allows you to go in there without the "I got what you need," because truth be told, we don't know if you do until you find out exactly what's going on, so that you can then prescribe a solution. And what I recommend for you is, think about it like this. Imagine if imagine if you went to your doctor's office, right? You're feeling pain. And you're like, "Doc, I need X amount of morphine." And the doc said, "All right, you know what, Jacob? Here you go." But the doc didn't really understand whether or not, maybe you just had a headache. Maybe you just, had a toothache, but they just prescribed you something without fully understanding what's going on. What would you call that doctor?
A bad doctor.
call him a felon because he's going to jail, he'd be a drug dealer, right? So it's like the same thing is like what I recommend for us as salespeople. It's like kudos to you for having self awareness to say, you know what, I want to be right, right, and I don't. Right. However, what I recommend mental gymnastic wise is going in there and just, hey, I don't know if I can help you. Like it's not a stick, but in order for me to even explore that, I need to know what's going on.
But once you find out what they do have going on and you feel like you could help, how would you, in problem awareness, not be combative with tone?
Remember that. So for me, I always remember that they are the lion. All right. And what I mean by that is, we are the ringmasters. All right. However, when you go to a circus that has lions, what do the ringmasters do? They have the lions jump through these hoops, right? Now, it's awesome, right? Until that lion wakes up and realizes that he's a lion. And what I don't want to do is wake up the lion on that sales call because I can have the lion jump through all these hoops, but then at the end of the day, if I get that lion upset enough, that lion can wake up and say, I'm going to tear you to shreds and I'm going. And the prospectors do the same thing to your deal. So for me, my perspective is, all right, I'm just here to find out, right? Because what I don't want to do is wake up that lion where he's like, I'm not jumping through any hoops. Matter of fact, this is done and cause harm to me or my pipeline. And I recommend you, you just think about that. It's like, that's lying there. Make sense?
Yeah, I like that analogy. Thank you, Rode.
You're welcome. Thanks for like raising your hand as always. And for everyone else that I didn't get to today, I'll make sure I take you guys first next week. Danica, can you please give me the list of the people that we didn't get to today, please?
Yes, Rode.
Thank you so much. You guys go out there, be merry, make sales, and don't wake up any lions. Take care.